What happens when the person you trust most becomes the one you should fear? When love transforms into something so dangerous that your own home becomes a battlefield? Before you answer, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because today's story will challenge everything you think you know about relationships and the masks people wear. I'm about to show you elevator footage that captured something so shocking it would become key evidence in one of the most disturbing murder cases of 2022. This isn't just another true crime story. This is a window into how quickly paradise can become hell, how social media fame can hide the darkest secrets, and how the justice system can fail when we need it most. What you're about to witness happened just hours before a 27-year-old crypto trader would take his final breath. The footage shows a moment that reveals the uncomfortable truth about what was really happening behind closed doors in Miami's most exclusive high-rise. The elevator doors close with a soft mechanical hum. Inside the confined space of one Paraiso's luxury elevator, two figures stand together, but this isn't a romantic moment. The security camera captures everything in stark, unforgiving detail as tension fills the small space like poison. She strikes him. Not once, but repeatedly. Her hand connects with his face and body while he tries to shield himself, his posture defensive, almost resigned. This isn't the first time. You can see it in his body language, the way he anticipates each blow, the way he doesn't fight back. The woman attacking him has over 2 million social media followers who see her as a glamorous influencer living the dream life. The timestamp reads February 2022. In just 2 months, the man being assaulted in this elevator will be dead, and the woman hitting him will claim she killed him in self-defense. But this footage tells a different story, one that prosecutors would later use to paint a picture of who was really the aggressor in this relationship. Watch his face carefully. There's no anger there, no retaliation, just exhaustion, the kind of weariness that comes from enduring something terrible for far too long. He's trapped, not just in this elevator, but in a cycle of violence that he somehow can't escape. The elevator reaches their floor. The doors open. They walk out together as if nothing happened. But something did happen. Something that would become crucial evidence in understanding the true dynamics of their relationship. This 30-second clip would later contradict everything his killer claimed about who was the victim and who was the predator. The comfortable lies were about to crumble, and the uncomfortable truth was about to emerge. Meet Christian Albumsely, known to friends as Toby, a 27-year-old Nigerian immigrant who came to America chasing the cryptocurrency boom. Smart, ambitious, and determined to build wealth in Miami's thriving financial scene, he represented everything hopeful about the American dream. His social media showed a young man living his best life in luxury apartments and expensive cars. Then there's Courtney Clenny, 26 years old, with over 2 million Instagram followers and a lucrative OnlyFans career that made her wealthy beyond most people's dreams. Beautiful, successful, and seemingly living a fairy tale life that millions envied. Her online presence screamed perfection, designer clothes, exotic vacations, and endless glamour shots. Together, they appeared to be the ultimate power couple. Young, rich, and gorgeous, living in Miami's most exclusive neighborhood. But their luxury penthouse at One Paraiso wasn't a love nest. It was a crime scene waiting to happen. The uncomfortable truth? Sometimes the most dangerous person in your life is the one sleeping next to you. Christian Toby Albumsely's story began like countless others. A young man from Nigeria with big dreams and an unshakable belief in America's promise. Born into a middle-class family, Toby understood that success required sacrifice and relentless determination. While his peers settled into traditional careers, he saw opportunity in the volatile world of cryptocurrency trading. By 2020, the crypto market was exploding, creating millionaires overnight and destroying fortunes just as quickly. Toby had been studying the patterns, learning the algorithms, and building his trading skills from Texas. But he knew that to truly succeed, he needed to be where the action was. Miami had become the unofficial cryptocurrency capital of America. In early 2021, Toby made the move that would change everything. He packed his life into boxes and headed to Miami, ready to transform his modest savings into serious wealth. The city welcomed him with open arms, luxury condos, expensive cars, and a lifestyle that seemed straight out of a music video. His Instagram posts from this period show a confident young man living his dreams. Designer clothes, high-end restaurants, and the kind of lifestyle that screamed success. Toby wasn't just chasing money. He was chasing the validation that comes with making it in America. While Toby was building his crypto empire, Courtney Clenny was already living in the stratosphere of social media success. With over 2 million Instagram followers hanging on her every post, she had mastered the art of digital seduction. Her feed was a carefully curated fantasy, bikini shots from exotic locations, designer outfits that cost more than most people's monthly salary, and the kind of lifestyle that made ordinary people dream of fame. But Instagram was just the beginning. Courtney had built a lucrative OnlyFans empire that generated serious money. We're talking 6 figures annually from subscribers willing to pay premium prices for exclusive content. She understood something that many traditional businesses missed. In the digital age, personality could be more valuable than any product. Her success wasn't accidental. Courtney knew exactly how to work the algorithm, how to engage her audience, and how to turn online attention into cold, hard cash. She lived in Miami's most exclusive neighborhoods, drove luxury cars, and wore jewelry that sparkled like her carefully crafted online persona. To her millions of followers, Courtney represented the ultimate success story, a young woman who had turned her beauty and charisma into financial independence. She was living proof that the internet could make anyone rich and famous. When Toby and Courtney's worlds collided in Miami's elite social scene, it seemed like destiny. Here was a successful crypto trader with money to burn, meeting a social media queen who knew how to live the high life. Their attraction was instant and intense, 2 ambitious young people who had both conquered their respective digital domains. Within months of meeting, they made the decision that would seal both their fates. Moving in together at One Paraíso, a luxury high-rise in Miami's prestigious Edgewater neighborhood. The building screamed exclusivity, floor-to-ceiling windows, stunning bay views, and the kind of amenities that separated the wealthy from everyone else. But here's a question I want you to think about as we continue this story. How well can you really know someone you met through social media? When someone's entire public persona is carefully crafted for maximum appeal, what happens when the cameras stop rolling and the real person emerges?
Now to the Courtney Clenny case, which is out of Miami. There's new video of an alleged attack on victim Christian Abumseli. The video was shot in Aspen, Colorado in 2022 and was released by the Haggard law firm, which represents the Abumseli family. Now, this attack happened just before Abumseli was stabbed to death on April 3rd, 2022. And we want to warn you, it can be a bit difficult to watch.
Anyway, I was sober for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And now why am I not sober? Because of you. You're hindering my progress.
You need to sit down.
Let go of me. Let go of me.
Come on.
Let go of me.
Okay.
Come on, boy. Let go of me. I can't even, I'll start to hit you later. Get the off me.
You don't want to hit me?
Christian, he saw me, and I know he's looking. I'm fed up with you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with that you treat me. Yes, I'm not mad at you.
You let Milana say some line that affected you.
I didn't let her say anything.
I didn't say
you did it.
Hey, let's go to Milana right now. Let's pull up to her.
No. I'm just gonna hear the same.
No, she's in the group chat. Let's put her on the phone right now.
I dare you.
Yeah, you dare me? Keep saying
you
it.
You do it.
Then stop saying it then.
Do it.
Then stop saying it then. Then stop saying it then.
I'll
Come on.
Let me get my
Ask her. Ask her, did I touch her breast yesterday?
See how instigative he is?
No, you're telling me I touched her breast yesterday when I.
You did. I didn't say you touched it.
You said I did.
You were leaning. Yo, you were dumb as I actually don't agree with you. Actually, I'm done.
Okay.
Can you send him home?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, fine.
Done. Because you're costing me money. I didn't do He's got to this house because of you.
You let Milan say some line that.
No, because of you. Flirting with 3 girls the whole time.
What 3 girls? What 3 girls? You?
Well, maybe
you
I think that
and you?
doesn't matter.
You and you?
Milan.
I was flirting with Milan.
And she's saying, hey, come get your mans. She's trying to come home with me.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're lying. She said, come get your man that I was trying to hit on Milan. Come on, baby.
Okay.
That doesn't even sound right.
Christian, you're fired.
Fine.
Hopefully, shut up.
You'll never see me again. You are the most
good bitch. Good.
ever met in my life.
You want
You corny.
Dude, get the out of here. This isn't even your house.
Yeah, cool.
It's not my house, really. You're just like my boyfriend. Get the out of here.
Just like your boyfriend?
I can actually get like done if you're not here.
Yeah.
Get the out of here.
Okay, I'll remember that next time.
Get out of here. No, that's not even the next time. Get the
Stop touching
Get
me.
out.
Don't touch me again.
Good thing, get out, bitch. Get out.
Bitch.
You never loved me. The way you talk, the way you treated the girls last night, you embarrassed me. I don't want anything to do with you.
Embarrassing you guys today. You're really just self-conscious. You always talk about, oh, Christian, you like this. I say, what did I tell you before? You're the baddest person in this bitch. No one has anything on you. I tell you this every day. I have text messages that you say, Christian, thank you for the content.
Shut up, but you don't do it the next day.
Why are you screaming? There's people in this house.
Get out, for real.
Yeah.
I never want to see you again.
Cool.
So difficult to watch those young people struggle. Clenny is being held without bond on a second-degree murder charge. The OnlyFans model's attorney says Abumseli was stabbed in self-defense because Clenny was a victim of domestic violence. Prosecutors claim Clenny was the abuser. The pair had a long history of domestic abuse. Clenny will be back in court tomorrow for a status hearing. Clenny's defense team issued this statement about this new video. Now remember, this was released by the attorneys for the Abumseli family. This video is an example of the toxic relationship between Abumseli and Courtney Clenny. Evidence exists that Abumseli physically abused Courtney on prior occasions, and on April 3rd, 2022, Courtney was forced to defend herself from Abumseli's physical attack.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever discovered that someone was completely different from their online presence? One Paraiso promised paradise, and from the outside, it delivered. The gleaming 47-story tower offered everything money could buy: infinity pools, private beach access, concierge services, and apartments that cost more per month than most people earn in a year. For Toby and Courtney, Unit 2204 became their love nest, complete with panoramic views of Biscayne Bay. But paradise has a way of becoming prison when the wrong people hold the keys. What neighbors initially dismissed as passionate young love soon revealed itself as something far more disturbing. The sounds coming from their apartment weren't the playful arguments of a couple working through relationship issues. They were the sounds of violence. Mrs. Rodriguez, who lived directly below them, later told investigators that the shouting matches were so intense she often couldn't sleep. The thuds against the walls, the crashes of furniture being thrown, and most disturbing of all, the sound of someone pleading for it to stop. Other residents began avoiding the 22nd floor entirely, uncomfortable with the tension that seemed to radiate from their unit. The building's management received multiple complaints, but what could they do? These were paying tenants living in a luxury building where privacy was supposed to be guaranteed. The facade of their perfect life was cracking, but the cracks were hidden behind expensive walls. Between their move-in date and Toby's death, Miami-Dade police received 7 separate calls to their apartment for domestic disturbances. 7 times, officers climbed to the 22nd floor of One Paraiso to investigate reports of violence. 7 times, they left without making a single arrest. The first call came just months after they moved in together. Neighbors reported screaming, crashing sounds, and what sounded like someone being hurt. When police arrived, both Toby and Courtney appeared calm, explaining it away as a misunderstanding. No visible injuries, no admission of violence, no arrest. The second call followed the same pattern. Then the third. By the fourth call, responding officers were becoming familiar faces in the building's lobby. Each time, they would knock on the door, ask the standard questions, and leave when both parties denied any physical altercation. The system was designed to protect victims, but what happens when the victim won't admit they need protection? Behind closed doors, Toby was confiding in his closest friends about what was really happening. Text messages later recovered by investigators revealed a man living in fear of his own girlfriend. He told friends that Courtney had attacked him multiple times, that she had anger issues that seemed to explode without warning. But here's the tragic reality. Toby never called the police himself. Despite being the victim of repeated assaults, he protected his attacker. Whether it was love, shame, or fear of not being believed as a male victim of domestic violence, Toby chose silence over safety. The text messages Toby sent to his friends paint a horrifying picture of life behind the luxury facade. In one message to his cousin, he wrote, "She hit me again last night. I don't know what to do anymore." In another, sent to his best friend from college, "Courtney stabbed me, but I'm okay. Please don't tell anyone." Yes, you heard that correctly. Toby had survived a previous stabbing incident at Courtney's hands, yet he remained in the relationship. The wound wasn't life-threatening, but it should have been life-changing. Instead, Toby made excuses, covered for her, and stayed. His friends begged him to leave. They offered him places to stay, money to start over, anything to get him away from Courtney. But Toby's responses revealed a man trapped by something more powerful than fear, a toxic combination of love, hope, and the belief that he could somehow fix her. "She's not always like this," he texted one friend. "When she's good, she's amazing. I think I can help her." Another message read, "I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I love her. She needs me." These weren't the words of a weak man. They were the words of someone caught in the deadly cycle of domestic violence, where hope becomes more dangerous than despair. By February 2022, the violence in their relationship had reached a terrifying new level. What had once been hidden behind closed doors was now spilling into public spaces, captured by the very security systems designed to protect residents of One Paraiso. The elevator footage from that month would later become one of the most damning pieces of evidence against Courtney. In the confined space of the luxury elevator, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, the camera captured the true nature of their relationship. Courtney struck Toby repeatedly while he stood there, absorbing the blows, without fighting back. This wasn't a mutual altercation or a heated argument between equals. This was assault, plain and simple, recorded in high definition for the world to see. Toby's body language told the entire story. The way he positioned himself defensively, the resignation in his posture, the complete lack of surprise at being attacked. The timestamp on that footage would prove crucial to prosecutors. It established a clear pattern of violence, with Courtney as the aggressor, directly contradicting the self-defense narrative she would later claim. In that elevator, with cameras rolling, the mask finally slipped completely off. The point of no return had been crossed, and there was no going back. In the weeks following the elevator incident, Toby's text messages to friends took on a desperate tone that still haunts those who read them today. "I'm scared of what she might do," he wrote to his cousin in March 2022. "She's getting worse, and I don't think I can calm her down anymore." His best friend from Texas later told investigators that Toby had called him crying, something he had never done before in their 15-year friendship. "She threatened to kill me," Toby whispered into the phone. "I think she really means it this time." When his friend begged him to pack his bags and leave immediately, Toby's response was heartbreaking. "I can't abandon her. She needs help." Multiple friends offered Toby plane tickets, hotel rooms, even jobs in other cities, anything to get him away from Courtney. His family in Nigeria pleaded with him during video calls, seeing the fear in his eyes even through the screen. His mother later said she knew something terrible was going to happen just by looking at her son's face. But Toby's loyalty proved stronger than his survival instinct. He believed he could save someone who was determined to destroy him. That misguided love would cost him everything. April 3rd, 2022 started like any other day at One Paraiso. Neighbors went about their morning routines, unaware that by evening, their luxury building would become the scene of a murder that would shock the nation. The final argument began around 4 in the afternoon. Witnesses later reported hearing shouting from their apartment. But this time it was different, more intense, more desperate than the previous altercations. What triggered this particular fight remains unclear, but what happened next would change everything forever.
And welcome to Closing Arguments. I'm Julie Grand, helping out all this week, filling in for Vinny while he's off. OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny and her boyfriend Christian Abumseli moved into their 22nd floor apartment in the Juan Paraiso building back on January 6th of 2022. And over the course of the 3 months that the couple was living in that building, the police and the building security would respond to their unit more than 10 times. The couple quickly became known to building staff and to building security for their domestic disputes, for their loud fights that led to noise complaints and violent interactions that were witnessed in the building's common areas. They were even threatened with eviction at one point. Now, that would all end on April 3rd, 2022, when Courtney Clenny would fatally stab Christian Abumseli in their home. Now, a civil lawsuit filed on behalf of the Abumseli estate is alleging that the building staff and building security were aware of Courtney Clenny's history of disturbances, her erratic and aggressive behavior, and recent mental health diagnosis before the day that Christian Abumseli was killed. And the allegation is that the security stood outside of the door during the fight that left Christian Abumseli dead. We want to show you some of the documents and what they state in part. On April 3rd, 2022 at 4:45 p.m., the front desk received complaints about noise coming from the unit. Front desk personnel Marvin Durant called the police and advised that there was a fight going on in Unit 2201. Mr. Durant was asked if emergency medical services were required, to which he responded no. Now, they just required the services of the police. Now, it goes on to say that at 4:45 p.m., building security arrived at the Clenny unit, knocked on the door, heard yelling through the door, stood outside, and did nothing. At 4:57 p.m., 12 minutes after the front desk was first notified and told the police that EMS was not required, Courtney Clenny placed this call to police herself.
I'm gonna die. Ma'am, listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address. I'm gonna die. I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. Ma'am, so my boyfriend is dying of a stab. Ma'am, what is the address? What's the address? Northeast 7th Ave. Please, God, please. Come see my boyfriend. Ma'am, is this a house apartment or a business? Is this a house apartment or a business? Amy, I'm so sorry.
Was it murder or was it self-defense? That's going to be the question for the jury when this case goes to trial. Tonight, we have a very special guest joining us on the program. I want to welcome in, Kim Wald. She is the attorney representing the Abumseli family. She is joining us tonight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kim, good evening to you. Nice to see you. Thank you for being with us. When I read through the amendments that you made to the complaint with these additions, it's pretty chilling. How did you come to discover this information about security being so close to that fatal fight?
Well, that evidence is actually from the security's own documents. It's from the management company and the apartment complex's own documents. This is from the police report documents that they've really documented every single occurrence, every single red flag that occurred here. And it is quite chilling when you go through all of the evidence that in this 3-month period leading up to this murder, there was notice after notice after notice. And the fact that nothing was done is absolutely outrageous. And that's why we filed this lawsuit, because they have to do better. When you have these type of notice, you can't simply ignore them.
Kim, what would be your response to anyone saying, well, they weren't the police, they wouldn't necessarily have the right to enter that building? What do you say to that, please?
They absolutely had the right. When you look at the lease itself, they had the right to enter into that unit. You know, if this was a water leak or if this was a fire, they would have broken down that door and entered into that unit with absolutely no problem. They had a duty to the residents of that
building, they owed a duty to Christian. And the fact that they did nothing, that they started this eviction process and then withdrew the eviction process, and then on the night of this murder had notice and stood outside of the door for 12 minutes and did nothing, they absolutely had a duty to enter into that unit to stop this murder from occurring, and they could have evicted them long before this night even occurred in the first place.
Kim, reading through the different averments in the suit that you filed, something that really jumped out at me and many of my colleagues here at Court TV was that it is apparently it was made known by Courtney Clenny to building personnel that she was suffering from untreated severe borderline personality disorder. What more can you share with us about that?
Absolutely. So during this process of eviction, there was notice after notice, and Miss Clenny had been notified from building management, from the general manager of One Paraiso, that she needed to leave, that this eviction process was taking place, and that the police were going to come and escort her out of the building in the coming weeks. And her response to that was to notify them that she had recently been diagnosed with this severe personality disorder and was taking medication that would not take into effect for at least another month. In response, the building management, instead of doing the right thing, instead of continuing the eviction process, said, you know what, let's forget about it. You go ahead, continue this violent behavior, continue treating Christian this way, and we'll forget about it as long as you pay your rent. She also had been an entire month behind in rent. So the apartment complex was more worried about money and getting their rent than actually providing safety that they were required to. So just a few days after they were on notice that they had a woman who had a history of volatile behavior, now known and coupled with the fact that she had this mental health condition that was not treated, they still allowed her to reside. They still allowed this behavior to continue, and they did nothing to protect Christian.
In February 2024, just 1 month after their arrest, charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. Prosecutors couldn't definitively prove that the Clennys had acted with criminal intent rather than simply trying to protect their daughter's privacy. By September 2024, a judge ruled that family text messages and emails could still be used as evidence in Courtney's trial, despite the tampering allegations. The ruling was a victory for prosecutors, but the damage to the case's integrity had already been done. The legal proceedings descended into chaos in March 2025, when the lead prosecutor was forced to step down after a judge ruled he could be deposed regarding his handling of privileged communications. The ruling suggested potential misconduct in how evidence had been gathered and presented. 2 months later, Courtney's defense team filed a motion that stunned the legal community. They requested the disqualification of the entire Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office from the case. The motion cited conflicts of interest, prosecutorial misconduct, and violations of attorney-client privilege that they claimed had tainted the entire investigation. The defense argued that the prosecution had become so compromised that no fair trial was possible with the current team. They demanded that a special prosecutor from outside Miami-Dade County be appointed to handle the case. These legal maneuvers have caused significant delays, pushing the trial date further and further back. What should have been a straightforward murder case has become a complex legal battle that threatens to overshadow the victim at its center. As of July 2025, Courtney Clenny remains locked up at Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center, held without bond while awaiting her murder trial. The proceedings are scheduled for late 2025, though given the legal complications we've discussed, further delays are possible. If convicted of second-degree murder, she faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. The woman who once commanded millions of followers now sits in a cell, her digital empire crumbling as her legal bills mount, and her freedom hangs in the balance. This case forces us to confront several uncomfortable truths about our society. First, domestic violence doesn't discriminate based on wealth, fame, or social status. Toby and Courtney's luxury lifestyle couldn't protect him from becoming a victim of intimate partner violence. Second, social media creates dangerous illusions that can hide the darkest realities. Millions of people followed Courtney's glamorous life, never suspecting that behind the perfect posts was a pattern of violence and control. Third, our legal system often fails male victims of domestic abuse, who face additional barriers to reporting and being believed. The 7 police calls to their apartment represent 7 missed opportunities to save Toby's life. Each time officers left without making an arrest, they sent a message that the violence wasn't serious enough to warrant intervention. This systemic failure cost a young man his life and his family their beloved son. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out for help immediately. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7 at 1-800-799-7233. Remember, abuse escalates over time, and leaving can be the most dangerous period for victims. Don't wait for it to get worse. If this story opened your eyes to the realities of domestic violence, please hit that like button and share this video with others who need to hear Toby's story. Subscribe to Explosive True Crime Stories for more cases that matter, and let me know in the comments what other stories you'd like me to cover. Together, we can raise awareness and potentially save lives.